Over the past few years, when we take a look at soybean seeding rates, the main goal has been to reduce seeding rates. And the reason why we're able to do this as we have seed treatment, we're better able to pair genetic to soil type, and we really see benefits from early planting in terms of gathering more sunlight to drive that photosynthetic chain longer throughout the season. The end goal that we're after is pod development, and we need more nodes on that soybean stem, which is an artifact of that early planting. When we look at seeding date and seeding rate, there's always a risk-reward equation we need to work out. The earlier you plant with a lower seeding rate, potentially this field is up for greater risk of replant. However, the later you plant and the higher seeding rate may not be cost effective. So when we look at seeding rates, we really want to be able to harvest 100,000 plants per acre. How we get there is really geographically dependent. You get into tougher clays and colder soils, we may need a higher seeding rate to get to this point. Versus really fertile soils, we may be able to get by with less. So when it comes to seeding rate, we really need to pay attention of when we're going to make that planting pass. Earlier in the year, we get canopy closure earlier. So we're able to get by with less of a seeding rate. However, if we're seeding later in the year, we may look at bumping those seeding rates because the end goal is going after canopy closure.
As an industry, through the data is clear that we've been overplanting soybeans. And what's neat to see here is that they're testing our germplasm across the different soybean populations, and we get to see the branching that occurs at those lower populations. So a couple things, even though we're in the business to sell seed, we now have agronomic data to tell a farmer he can cut back his seeding rates, have the same, or even the data would show greater yields potentially by getting more branching. Then that gives them money to invest in seed treatments that are very important for yield on the soybean, as well as then a more robust herbicide program for weed management. So that's a big takeaway, is maybe saving some dollars on one input, reallocating it towards another input for an overall better experience with our products.